Hey everybody, I got a great question, and somebody had asked, what is the WebP file format in Photoshop, and do we need to be concerned about it? Would I really use it? Let's find out. Are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist and pushing ourselves to think creatively out of the box. Okay, here's a great question, and I had to do some investigation and a little bit of testing, and that is somebody had asked, what is WebP file format? And I honestly, I don't know. It's like I never even heard of it or paid attention, but it's in Photoshop. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to dive into Photoshop right now. So this is my setup. I've got an image opened up, and I'm going to work with this image, but I had to do some research, and I have to read this. Let's see. What is a WebP file format? It's a raster graphics file format, which means it's based on pixels. WebP is a raster graphics file format developed by Google, and it was actually developed in 2010, and it was refined and basically introduced to the marketplace in 2018. Now, if you remember those dates, 2018, this will make a little bit more sense here. But it's intended, the file format is intended as a replacement for JPEG, PNG, and GIF or GIF file, some people call it. It supports both lossy and lossless compression. It claims, now again, I'm not going to do the research on this, but according to Google and other organizations, this file format gives you a 25 to 34% file size, a smaller file size, let's say, than a JPEG, with better quality. So we'll actually take a look at it and see if that's actually true. The third issue is because this was introduced in 2010, it was refined in 2018. Adobe Photoshop did not start supporting that format until 2022. So I don't know when in 2022, but let's assume it was the entire year. So that was 22, 23. So we're in the third year of this file format. So I think most people don't even know that it exists, and would you ever use it? And also, I checked, and it is also supported by Affinity Photo version 2. So if you have Affinity Photo 2, you're all set. You could use that file format. So we're going to dive in and take a look at it. Just to let you know that I had to test this in browsers. It works on a Windows platform, at least. It works with Chrome, Firefox, with Microsoft's Edge browser. They all support that. It works. I don't have a Mac, so I don't know if this actually file format actually works for you. I would assume it would. I mean, a lot of Mac people use Chrome. So if it works on Windows and Chrome, it should work also, and also for Firefox. But if it's Safari that you use, I have no idea. I'm going to guess it does support it. Now, does your phone support that? Well, I can't speak because I don't have an iPhone, but I do have an Android phone. And I did load the image up on my Android phone, and yes, it does work. But I'm going to come back to this. Does it work? Well, not in all situations, and that could be a big negative. Okay, so let's take a look at the file format and what's going on here. And how do I save it for this format? So I have this image opened up in Photoshop, and this is just made up of a few layers. And let's take a look at the image size. So image drop-down menu right here. And we're going to take a look at image size. And you could see that this is, in pixels, it's over 6,000 for the width. The height is over 4,000 and resolution 240. If I change this to inches, this is equivalent to, say, a 25 by 16 print. That's a pretty good size print right there. A lot of information, decent resolution. But for web, we do our measurements in pixels. And so a good unit of measure is about 1,200 pixels. That seems to be, you can make it less or more, but that tends to be the average people tend to use is 1,200 pixels on the longest line. So if it's a landscape, it's going to be for the width. If it's vertical, then it's going to be the height. Whatever's the longest length, that should be about 1200 right there. And the resolution for the web is 72. So I'm just going to show you something. First of all, how do we traditionally save an image to be posted for the web? Well, I'm going to cancel this right now. And I'm going to go to File, drop-down menu. And I'm going to come down here where it says Export. And this is the old Save for Web. It says legacy thing that we've had for years and years in Photoshop. And it just opens up this massive interface. And it just gives you different options. Like this is your original here. In fact, I need to make this fit in the view. There we go. So this is the original image right here, and it's about 69 megapixels. And it gives you, 3 different output options. You would just click on it. I'm just going to choose this one right here. When you choose something, it's going to be a JPEG format. There's a drop-down menu there for JPEG. The quality here, I'm going to put, I found from experience playing with this, to get something that's equal, we need something between low and medium. And when it's at medium, I can see the quality is at 30 right there. If I go to low, it's at 10 right there. So I'm going to go in between because I found that low is compressed too far in comparison to the WebP format that we're going to take a look at. So I'm going to go with 20 on this, sort of fit that in between the low and the medium. And then I'm going to come down here where it says image size, and I'm going to make sure that it is 1200 on the width, because again, the width is the longest part of this image versus the height. Notice that I'm not doing anything with resolution because by default, this knows to export this out with this compression, with the compression settings I have chosen, but it knows to make it 72 because that's the standard for the web. So I'm going to click on Save right here on the button and let it do its thing. I'm going to navigate sample images. That's where I'm at. And I'm going to change this to, let's rename this LEG. And that just means that's the legacy file format in JPEG. So I'm going to save that out right there. And let's take a look at, okay, so there's the image on the output, LEG. And we'll come back to that in a few minutes. So I'm going to go back to Photoshop. Now, in fact, I'm going to do this, Control O, Command O on a Mac. I'm just going to open this up. So I just want to show you that this is the one I just produced, JPEG. If I go to Image, Size, you can see now that that is the 1200 by 800 or 801, 72 as a resolution. Okay, so that's, you didn't see me put in a 72 resolution when I exported that out with the legacy component of Photoshop. It knows that that's what it should be. So I need to match that when I do this in the WebP format. So that's fine right there. So I'm going to close out of that. Just wanted to show you that that's what the dimensions were. Okay, now there is no ability to change the resolution in the WebP format when I export it out. So I've got to do it here on the image. What I don't want to do is mess this up in case I goof up. So I recommend doing this. Image, come down to Duplicate. So it's going to create a duplicate copy of this file for me, and I'm going to close out the original. I'm not going to save that, but okay, so this is the copy. So that way, if I goof this up, I still have my original one that's high res. Because what I'm going to do now is go to Image drop-down menu and choose Image Size. And in here, I'm going to change that resolution to 72. And then I'm going to go here on the width and make it 1200. And then there's my 801. So this is going to be the same size and resolution as the legacy one. And then I'm going to click on OK. So it's going to do its thing. Let's expand this a bit. So now I can go back here to Image, Size, and you'll see that there we are, 1200 by 801, 72. I have to do that first. And if I goofed up on this, and I didn't ruin my original image, that's the high-res one, I can always go back. That's why I recommend you putting up a duplicate one. Now that I have that set, I'm just going to go to File drop-down menu. I'm going to choose Save a Copy. I'm going to save it on my computer. The name I'm going to give it, well, let's go to the drop down first. All the way to the bottom, you'll see right there is the WebP format. And now I'm just going to, I don't even have to put the name. I could see that it says WebP format right there. So I'm just going to choose save on that. And now the dialog box, if lossless is turned on, that's going to give you the no compression at all. JPEGs, they're compressed. So to be, competitive here to analyze these two, I'm going to choose lossy, and I have it at the low setting, which is 25. And so we're comparing, apples to apples here, pretty close. That's the challenge. It's hard to do that, but that's the best I can do. Click on OK. And let's see what happens. So let's go back to, see the folder there. Oops, I went to the wrong spot. Come on, Stephen. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is the legacy format. And the legacy format, JPEG, is 38. And this one here, the WebP one is, there we go, 20.9. Okay, but how is the quality? So let me double click on this to open this up. And let's expand this so we can see this a little bit. And this is the legacy one. And then if I go to, well, I can advance, there we go. And then that is the web one. I don't know if you can really see a difference. Let's go back here. This is one there. So let's do this. Let's zoom in. And we're going to see this break apart. This is the legacy one. Okay. And okay, let's go to the other one. Now the web one. Let me pull that one up. And again, you're going to see some degradation. Not as bad, but close. The biggest thing is file format, right? When we look at this back at, say 100%, whatever. Let's go back to 100%. I mean, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. I mean, we can nitpick. The whole thing is that it is a smaller file format with decent quality. In fact, they claim better quality compared to a JPEG. Okay, under the legacy format. So I'm going to close out of that. Now, let's talk about pros and cons on this. Well, one is obviously good quality. We're saving the file format. The problem is it's supported. Well, I use a company called Zenfolio. I'm not here to promote them, but I've been using them for years for hosting my client work online, password protected for each client. And like when I worked on the high school cheerleaders, all the images I photographed, which was close to like 100 images of the girls, they were small JPEGs put up on that server, password protected for the school. The coach went in there, could pick which one she wanted to be put into the banner, and then I could get that information off there, and that's the way I would work with clients. Once in a while, I sell the high-res images on some of my projects to clients, but it's based on the packaging and what's going on, like weddings, you got full prints, wedding albums, and they want a half a dozen digital images. Yes, I will sell that to them or throw it in because it depends on, the package. But anyhow, the WebP file format does not work on Zenfolio. I could load it up there, but you can't see it. So again, it's useless for me. So my point is, would you ever use this file format? That's what I want to know. Make comments on the video. In my opinion, for me, the answer is, well, no. I never knew it was around. JPEGs are fine for me to be used. And if not everything supports it, because it's a fairly new file format. And again, most people don't even know it's been around for 2-3 years as a file format. I just don't see it becoming very popular. But it's something you might want to try. See if you could view it on your iPhone. If you're a iPhone user, I can't test that. I'm sure it will, but you might want to play around with that. All right. Hopefully you learned something. If you can do me a favor on this one, and that is like the video, subscribe if you have not subscribed, hit that notification bell. And also, this is not monetized, and this is not a sponsored video. So if you can do me a favor, and like a lot of the other people, thank you very much for donating a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. That's where you can make a donation and help support the channel. All right, with that out of the way, let's get that camera out and let's practice and let's try this file format and see what we can do with it. Till next time, see ya.